often underrepresented artists in our music community. And that means women, and especially women over the age of 40. Let's just say it. LGBTQ people, people of color. Kirby Heard was one of the first people on my list, like one of the first 3 people on my list. And when you hear her music, you'll understand why, because it speaks for itself. Your originality, your poignancy, like you are in a Kirby Heard song. That's all I got to say about it.
And I was privileged to play with Kirby across the street maybe a month or 2 ago at Yonder in a songwriter's circle. And all of that aside, though, folks, we're here mainly not to blather on about how well we know Kirby, but how much we're looking forward to Kirby, your music. So if you'd be so kind.
I appreciate it. And I'll own up to the age thing, you know. If experience doesn't get me in trouble, something will. So I'll just go with that. So I'll kick this off with, I kind of have an idea of songs I might want to play, and I kind of figured I'd be around. This one's going to be finger-picked when it is. I'm going to go with what y'all asked me about. But I'm going to start with this one, which is on the record. What else I do in my spare time is family history research and genealogy. So the things I read are pretty fascinating. And my great-grandmother on one side came here from Scotland in the 1890s, late 1880s. This is about her. It's called Maggie's Song. From our home along the Tay, we were weavers all by trade. 13 children born to our family, working long hours for low pay. We knew no other way. Seemed a destiny we could never leave. We were schooled until age 10, then to the mills were sent in the damp and dusty jute works of Dundee. We'd spin the jute and flax, weaving linen cloth and sacks. 'Twas the weaver's life in 1883. One by one 6 angels flew, my own twin brother too. 5 of those souls never reached age 3. When they called our mama home, Papa felt so all alone. 6 months after he had buried the last babe. One day my sister sailed off to America. Her beau was waiting there to take her hand. I tried to be the mom to my siblings left so young, and dreamed about a life in that new land. One day sister wrote to tell the land they'd come to dwell, far away from the ocean's chill and roar, with other Brits abreast in a place called Midwest. I should join them, leaving Scotland evermore. I worked 15 hours a day so my steerage I could save, and summon fearlessness to go alone. Take my leave of old Dundee, farewell to the cold North Sea, and the poor loom weaver's life I'd been bestowed. When my steerage I did save, When my passage I did earn, I vowed to ne'er return. Start anew far from the dismal factory. I stayed by sister's side, with hers I raised my child. They were all I had to call my family. I had cut the ties that bind, leaving kith and kin behind. And when sister took her daughter to Dundee, I could nae bear the pain to visit there again, once I'd found myself in poverty. When Mama died when I was 9, I'll ne'er forget her smile. My young one had her same smile from the start. Though I had traveled on and left our family home, Scotland will e'er be in my heart. Thanks. Sorry for my distractions there.
That's what we love about live radio.
That's right.
It's live radio. Kirby Heard live here in the studio as we a small tweak to that guitar mic.
No worries.
I should probably dial the gain back down when Kirk is doing that so you guys don't hear the earthquake at home.
Kirby, a lot of the songs that you write are songs that we know you wrote, but they sound like they could have been pulled from a traditional songbook.
Right.
And I have so much respect for people who are able to do that, who are able to write in that traditional vein. How do you do that? Like, is there a strategy, or is there a chord progression that you follow and you just plug it in, or how does that work?
You know, I have no idea what I'm doing. Is my roadmap.
Preach, girl. Me neither.
Magic.
I've always considered myself an accidental songwriter. I mean, I had this time when things would wake me up in the night and I'd type them on my BlackBerry. Tells you how long ago it was.
Oh, wow.
Then they ended up being songs. I don't know how it happened. When the first record was done, I was just stunned that John emailed me and said, yeah, I'd record 9 of these songs. And I was like, really?
All right.
And by the end of it all, there were, I think, 12 on that one. And so, yeah, I don't know. I'm learning to be more comfortable with myself, I guess. And,
Right.
But I'll run to other friends and collaborators who help a lot. You know, it's hard to get up in the balloon sometimes and look down on everything and
Right.
and get that perspective. You sometimes have to, kill your babies and move on, because even though that was your favorite line, it just doesn't work here.
Right.
So, but I mostly start out with words, and I end up finding a way to have... That song actually started out being completely a cappella, and it got rewritten during pre-production. It started out... I sang it for John the first time, and he said, do you have to tell me she dies in the first line of the song? Which I did.
Spoiler alert.
So...
Everybody.
But that's one of the things that's fun about pre-production, too.
Yeah.
Well, John, of course, for those of you who've been hanging around here, know that it's John Shane, who collaborates with many of the local songwriters, and especially F.J. Ventry and Good Luck Studio. We'll talk more about John and Kirby's new release here in a minute. But first, Kirby, how about another song?
Sure. So this is one I said I usually do words first. This one actually was a chord progression first. I think it's, yeah. Anyway, and we had gone to a friend, I'll do that song later, a friend who lived in Georgia who was fighting some tremendous cancer challenges. And Bob Haidt, my singing partner in the bluegrass band, and Linda, my life partner, and our dog hopped in his motorhome and drove down to Rex, Georgia, to do a little pep rally concert for our friend Rachel. And so they were all sleeping in, and I got my guitar out and was noodling around on the porch. So anyway, this one started out with the chord progression. It's called, which one is it? It's called Reflections. It is on the Mama's Biscuit CD, which was my first effort. And I learned in pre-production that it's considered in the Mixolydian mode, which I learned about way later when I learned about writing songs. So anyway. I think I'm still in. Who do I see in my mirror? Is she the same as me? Gray with wrinkled outlines, my colors do I see? Is it there my endless quest for truth, sprinkled with light-hearted wit? Is my heart of gold pinned on my sleeve? Do I show my grit? I'm polishing my reflection, no reason to make believe. Embrace the face in my mirror, finally reveal the true me. I've been bruised and beaten and loved incredibly. Victory over the struggles, they've written the story of me. It seems I've created a cover, a kind of a social mask. I told myself they never even ask. No such denial, I know that I'm true, no one else I'm trying to be. Are you seeing me in my mirror? I'm not hiding my identity. Swimming against the mainstream, do I act as someone I'm not? Where's the woman I've met before? Does she fear getting caught? I'm bound to admire who I am with no uncertainty and embrace the face in my mirror as she is meant to be. I'm polishing my reflection, no reason to make believe. Embrace the face in my mirror, finally, finally reveal the true me.
Okay.
Thank you.
Kirby Heard. And you say that's off the Mama's Biscuit
That is.
CD. And everybody, you need to chase down Kirby and get a hold of some of this fine music. Kirby Heard, HEARD.com, just like it sounds.
Just like you heard me.
And if you're waving money at her, she's not going to run too fast away. She'll wave a CD right back at you.
I will.
Now, we had referred.
Please let me know if you get it. I've just learned of some instances where my mailed CDs were not received.
Oh, no.
And I don't know what that means where they are because they were not returned either.
On the bottom of that mail person's satchel, probably
Or,
still.
or in
Or at
their
his
CD
house.
player.
Everybody, we had talked about a new release, and we have it right here. It is a beautiful-looking piece of work with a Kirby on the front, in front of a body of water, wearing a tie-dyed outfit. And what water is that?
That is the Pamlico Sound.
Ooh, nice. And as we
it's
said,
fine.
produced by John Shane, recorded at Jay Ventry's Good Luck Studio over there in, is that Carver or Chapel Hill?
Chapel Hill.
Yeah. And looks like a variety of good players on this. And Kirby, over what period of time? You told us this was released October 14th. When did you start working on this project?
We recorded it between May 5th and 9th of this year. I actually camped at Lake Jordan to cut my commute a little bit and save a little gas, which was a lot of fun because it was when it was really cold and rainy.
Oh,
So 5th and
so
9th,
much fun.
5 days.
Great for your guitars, too.
5 days.
I left them at
and
the studio.
Yeah.
what is this, 12 tracks?
14.
14 in 5 days?
Yeah.
Wow.
There were a couple of,
Not much sleep.
it was pretty amazing. They were kind of amazed. I mean, we knocked out all the guitar, we did all the scratch tracks in one day, and then we did a couple of the vocals. There's some a cappella vocals on the record, and we did those the same day. And then I came in and did the guitar work, and they were like, wow, you've been practicing. And I was like,
It's good to get that feedback.
the Scot in me just wanted to get this done.
So this is out there available through KirbyHeard.com. It's the best place to go, or Bandcamp, or where?
Either one. I think Bandcamp takes a little more money than KirbyHeard.com does.
Except on
Except
Except
next
on free
Friday.
Fridays.
Next Friday is Bandcamp
First
Friday.
Friday, that's right.
Yep.
That's right.
So y'all
I
can-
need to publicize that more.
Yes.
I'm remedial social media.
Well, we'll do it right now, y'all. Bandcamp Friday is next Friday. Go find Kirby Heard on Bandcamp and fill all of those Christmas stockings with Kirby Heard's new CD.
There you go.
There, I hope that helped.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Bob.
Kirby, you mentioned earlier that you have you bounce your ideas off of friends, or you write songs and you have friends critique them. We live in a super warm, wonderful, supporting songwriter environment. Is it hard to find people who will give you honest, critical feedback?
Well, no, not at all. Leah Kaufman is just a dream to,
Oh, she's fantastic.
and I've learned a lot, and she makes just suggestions that I go, oh, yeah, I never thought of that. So that it's that kind of viewpoint that's really helpful to have. For a while, we were meeting at a park in Alamance County because it was about halfway for both of us. So that was cool. I feel a little bit. There are plenty of wonderful songwriters in the Triad area. Don't get me wrong.
Oh,
But
yeah.
my tribe first kind of originated in the Triangle, so I have comfort, I guess, in places.
Yeah, and you can't go wrong discussing songwriting with Leah Kaufman.
Right.
Totally true.
Big fan.
Yeah.
Well, play some more songs so that people know what they're buying from Bandcamp.
Well, I will. And this is the first cut on the Ripples in the Wake.
Okay.
And this song is a tribute to my friend in Rex, Georgia, who actually lost her battle with the raging cancer. And for her and her partner. It's called Angel Wings. Sea foam shimmers before daylight, like the strands of pearls you wore. I reach for your hand without a thought, but you're walking on heaven's shore. Daybreak brings you back again and warms me with fond memories. Gentle waves tickle our toes in the sand, then wander back to the sea. Remember how our fingers twined, a perfect fit, me and you. You're here with me and my aching heart. I see you in all that I do. The soft dune drifts are your laughing eyes. I hear your voice in the wind. Your golden hair shines in the noonday sun. Your radiance is clear in my mind. Ah, my love. Ah, my love. It's hard to face this solitude. I see your footprints by mine. They fill with seawater, then disappear. So you're swept from me again. The ocean frees a silvery moon to awaken the indigo sky, revealing a shell open like angel wings. I see you waving goodbye. Ah, my love. Ah, my love. I hug the pillow that cradled your head. Grief pulls the tears from my eyes. Like the tide, I will recover my strength. Like the sun and the moon, I will rise.
Yay.
So nice.
Thank you.
Kirby, you've brought two guitars tonight, and the first couple songs been playing on just a beautifully sounding Martin guitar. How long have you had that one? A while. That long,
20, sometime between 2012 and now.
Yeah.
I went to a jam at Lowe's Vintage Music. Can I give them a free ad?
Oh, absolutely.
And I had a lot of fun, and of course, it was just at the walls. And there was this 1980 HD 28 hanging there on the wall with a price tag that called to me and said, "You can afford this." And I pulled it off the wall, and it just had this bass sound that just blew me away. What do I need to do to hold this? Oh, just give me your name.
Nice, yeah.
So I went back a week later, and I gave them a lot of money for a really nice T-shirt, and they threw in this guitar. It was the most
They are
wonderful experience.
Good people over there.
Yeah, Willow is wonderful, and everybody, it's get over there and and be prepared to trade your car, your second car.
They will make a deal with you.
They will make a deal with you.
Everybody, if you're watching the streaming video tonight, and if you're not, Bob, where can the stream be seen?
At Whoop Ask the Hat, at WHUP Pass the Hat on your favorite streaming services, and your favorite streaming services are Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch.
And this show will be archived, the video will, for a long, long time, as well as the audio on WHUPFM.org. But if you are watching, I know that you're wondering, Kirby has some accessory on both guitars. Tell us about that, because it does make you unique. You're unique in many ways, but that is one.
In many ways. We call this the guitar bra. I purchased one at a bluegrass festival, and then I patterned some after it, I will admit. My Alvarez is not a full-size dreadnought guitar, so it was big, and I had to take tucks in it, so I naturally decided to knock off her pattern. And I need to put them on my website. I've sold them to some friends, and I have a bunch kicking around in the back of my car. I also have them available for a F-style mandolin. But it prevents the sweat from really wrecking I sweat when I play.
Especially
in the summer outside.
Oh, yeah.
Those
It helps the
bluegrassers,
finish.
you'll see that part of their guitar, the lower bout,
Yeah.
Yeah.
can get pretty well whammed up.
Yeah.
So that's a
Yeah.
good idea.
Yeah. So I play in a bluegrass band, so that's kind of how it came about.
Yeah.
Well, and I see you may have seen people, if you're listening, you may have seen something like a guitar bra, or I also see a fair number of players that wear sweatbands.
I wear a
or-
sock. I mean, when
Yeah.
I play the banjo, I have a sock that I've cut the toe out of. So,
Yeah.
Because
And
that one's
so-
kind of hard to cover up. You know?
Sure. Well, and it's so smart too, because if you're seeing people and they have items on their arms like that, it is to protect the guitar and probably to some degree your arm too, because your arm can get kind of calloused and
Scratched and raw.
yeah. So, but it looks great.
Gnarly. Well, thank you. I appreciate it.
Fan of the guitar bra.
Thank you.
What you got for us
What do
next,
I have?
Kirby?
Well, since you mentioned the other guitar, why don't I just go ahead and do this?
And you're playing this time. You're pulling up an Alvarez.
I am. This was, I was a camp counselor in Colorado for 2 seasons. And the first year that I went, I had a guitar that my parents had given me that I got from trading stamps. But I really embraced all the folk music I'd grown up with. They were singing all these songs. I'd be, I know that, But, and there were a couple of folks there that wrote music, and I wrote poetry for the first time out there, and
Nice.
just inspired by, Rocky Mountain High and all that. Anyway, so I used my first summer savings or paycheck to buy my Alvarez.
Oh.
And it's worth about the same thing it was that year in 1977 or 8.
It held its value.
So let's see which one I'll do. This is on the record. And I wrote a song in open D tuning, and I figured I had 2 guitars. I might as well tune one that way. So then I decided I needed to write more songs in open D tuning.
Of course. Or maybe even buy another guitar.
Don't tell my wife that. So I'm thinking I need a backpack guitar for my recuperation. I can stash it.
That's
next
a
to the
good
sofa.
idea.
That is a very good idea. I mean, it's a medical necessity, basically.
Yeah. Anyway, I did this at a circle, and my good friend Bobby Needham said that it was the sweetest breakup song she'd heard. So John Shane plays the guitar on the record on this, and it's just lovely. So I'll play Kirby's version. This is called Better This Way. And I'll have to say, it was written for a prompt. I know I was watching Kim Ware when she was here, and she mentioned the Southern Songwriters Association. And I attend their online Facebook meetings. I'm not brave enough to drive to Charlotte for that yet, but this was a prompt. I just went looking I need to write today. What can I find? So I knew they have like 3 months worth of prompts up there. So I went and looked, and it said Better This Way, and I said, all right, let's see what I can do. So this is it. Was it too soon we parted? Should it have ever started? No guilt or fear, and no more tears. I think it is better this way. We had had our moments, it's true. Even said, I love you. Thought it would last, but the passion passed. How can it be better this way? We let our spirits be free. I relish the memory and keep in mind what was left behind. It has to be better this way. Life isn't always as it seems, a path in life cloaked in a dream. Through the looking glass, a chance to disappear. The reflections never lie when the glass is clear. Finding all the holes you left, fill them in, no regrets. A spark in my soul has now taken hold. I know it is better this way. Yes, better this way. Yeah, well.
Kirby Heard, live here on Pass the Hat. Kirby, you mentioned before playing that song that it was, its genesis was in a prompt. Mm-hmm. And I think I'm the only person in this room. I'm almost always the only person in this room other than Matthew of Matthew's Chocolates, who just walked in.
Hi, Matthew.
I was wondering if I was special enough to be able to spokesmodel for the second half spokes.
Oh, you're spokesmodeling.
In 3 minutes.
I think Matthew might spokesmodel a little.
Spokesmodel.
Spokesmodel.
Thank you, Matthew.
Thank you, Matthew.
You're very welcome. Enjoy.
From Matthew's Chocolates right here in Hillsborough, North Carolina.
You're still 2.5 minutes early.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No,
We can do it
go
again.
on.
It's fine.
On Church Street, right? Did I get that
Churton.
right? Churton Street. Oh, yeah, that's the
It's
one.
basically a church. Just
It
a big
is.
church.
I had to wait at the light long enough. I might as well have been in church.
Okay, we're going to do it right now. Are we ready?
Let's do it.
Okay. Now it's
Thank you,
time to be the spokesman.
Oh,
Support for Pass the Hat is sweetly provided by Matthew's Chocolates, 104 North Churton Street, Hillsborough, North Carolina, the finest in chocolate and chocolate accessories for all of your chocolate needs. And let's face it, you have chocolate needs, especially this time of year. And if you have chocolate needs for Christmas, you best be placing your orders now, because this is the best chocolate you've ever had, and it's in high demand, and there's a bit of a lead time.
I'm so excited.
There will be. There's an assistant living in my home
Oh, that's right.
who will be.
You got
Yes.
an insider at Matthew's Chocolates now.
Yeah, Lucy is the official hot chocolate mixer.
So does she get paid
she's-
in Bitcoin or
Well,
or hot chocolate or what?
She's apprenticing, so she's an apprentice and
well,
learning.
but apprentices need to taste the wares so they become educated.
She will not be mad about that. So, but you know what? Look into all the different flavors that Matthews offers. For example, he has a Mexican hot chocolate, which is spicy, and has other flavors sort of nuanced in with the hot chocolate. He also makes the marshmallows, homemade marshmallows, which are to die for. So
Well,
good.
that's we're going on to an extended Matthews commercial, but that's what he's really good at. Not only is it just the base chocolate, really high end and really well done chocolate, but the flavor profiles he comes up with. He's like a chef over there, coming up with new ways to combine ingredients that you wouldn't think of, but as soon as you take a bite, you're like, oh yeah, obviously that's the best thing I've ever had. It's just he's got a wonderful palate, a good sense of taste and smell, and wonderful artist. It's all just wonderful. Matthew's Chocolates, 104 North Churton, Hillsborough, North Carolina. But Kirby, I was asking you about song prompts, and I think I was pointing out that I'm always the only person who's not a songwriter in this room during Pass the Hat, and the idea of a song prompt to me, I think would offend my ego a little bit. I don't need your stinking song prompt. I'm going to write what I'm going to write about.
Or terrify you.
Or terrify me. But you went out searching for a song prompt.
I
I'm
do
wondering how that
periodically.
works.
I was in a group once. I've been in a couple of online groups. It was a 5-day challenge, 5 songs, 5 days, and prompts were given, but they varied. Like one of them was 10 words, use as many as you can, preferably at least 5, and then there was I can't remember the accent word that she used for it, but she also gave some chord progression ideas. So that was one. In fact, maybe I'll do that song next. But and then there were other prompts like, write a song with a drop in it. Well, I had to learn what that was, so I wasn't the only one. But it's just an idea. I try to write every day, whether it's just free writing, just to get my brain activated.
But what is it that the prompt does for you? What
Gives
makes
me
it work?
ideas. I don't know. There's a visual thing. I'm kind of a visual person. I don't know. It gets my brain going in a different direction. I think one of the things that it does is it removes the songs from what's in my head just a little bit. I tend to write, as we said earlier, I write about stuff I know. I write about stuff that's bothering me or that
Sure.
I'm inspired by. And so the song prompt is a little bit removed from my personal experience enough to be, I can put myself in another person and, write this from a point of view that I'm making it all up.
So it kind of helps you.
And somebody goes, oh, that's a great song. And I go, oh, okay, cool. I made it all up.
This is the best way, I think. But it helps you either congeal all these billions of ideas bouncing around in your head or maybe push them to the side
It
so that
does.
something else can come through.
Exactly. That's a really good way to put it. Thank you for that.
Everybody, we have reached the turn of the hour, and we are WHUP LP Hillsborough. We're enjoying our time with Kirby Heard here tremendously.
Yeah, we
and
are.
Can't wait to hear 30 minutes more of Kirby's fine original music. But do get out there to Kirby's website, Kirby Heard, KirbyHeard.com. Or just hang around and listen to this next song, because it's going to be a good one.
Kirby, will you play us another song, please?
I will. I called this Under the Maple Tree. And it was actually one of the songs out of that 5-day prompt that survived. A lot of them end up in the, this is what do I call them? Toss-offs. The trash bin or whatever. But so this is called Under the Maple Tree, and it is on the new project. So it goes like this. Hope you like it. I could find you under the maple tree, your ball cap turned to the side, a gem in the gold autumn leaves, your black hair and charcoal eyes. When the hoot owl called, we fell in love 'neath that tree we used to climb. My memories of the hours we'd spend forever lost in time. Now my arms are empty, my heart's been denied since you went away. The sting of loneliness won't subside, I've loved you more each day. We met one night in the light of the moon before you went off to war. Then I searched to find you in my dreams or up among the stars. The woods fell silent when you left, but for the tears my own heart wept. And that hoot owl called for your return each night before I slept. Now my arms are empty, my heart's been denied since you went away. The sting of loneliness won't subside, I've loved you more each day. You gave me a cap, it was navy blue, a wool letter S in red. Said you'd come back for it, keep it safe, that I should wear it instead. Your precious cap was all I had left, and I kept it close to my heart. When I learned you had fallen at the front, it kept me from coming apart. Now my arms are empty, my heart's been denied since you went away. The sting of loneliness won't subside, I've loved you more each day. I could find you under the maple tree, your ball cap turned to the side.
That last line, though. That visual. Your voice, Kirby, is one that is so full of character and always on tune. I've never heard you miss a note. It's never flat, never sharp, spot on. How do you maintain a voice that has such depth and paints such pictures and yet maintains its intonality? How do you do that?
I just love to sing. I don't know. I learned a lot from I guess, I sang in the church choir. I guess most of it ever did. But the choir director I sang with, and I was in high school, but it was in adult choir because there was nobody else in the church my age.
Right.
And my rest of my family was in the choir, so it was better to take me along than leave me home alone in high school.
It's safer.
But I think I learned a lot about intonation. I mean, you have to learn to sing in a group. I also used to sing in a barbershop quartet, so that's totally
Oh,
listening.
that's right.
And also elocution, is that the right word for
Yes.
how you say things? So I kind of pride myself, I guess, that I'm not a mushmouth singer. You can pretty much understand what I'm saying. But I do have lyrics to my songs on the website, kirbyheard.com, under the lyrics tab. But I don't know. I'm sorry, I can't answer your questions tonight. I just jumped out and did it, and there it is.
You did, though. You very much did answer the question in that we do hear people from time to time who love their music, and I can't always understand what they're saying, and I really wish I could. But I think that elocution is so important and something that I wish people paid more attention to. That if you want your music to communicate something, your mouth has to make the shape.
Well, and I try not to get so wrapped up in it that I'm losing what the song's about. But
Right.
I think I mean, there were lots of times in the studio that I'd be, that's a hard R. Do we have another take on that? Or does this sound like, so, I mean.
I think a lot of us wish Pearl Jam would have had those thoughts when they put
Yeah.
the music up.
Well, and I'm noticing when you do vocal slides, you do them in the spirit of the mountain women who taught me how to sing. Because when you do the slides, you do them in the Scottish tradition, which is probably where you learn where you're singing along and ba-da-da-da-da-da. And that's hard to do. It's hard to slide without breaking. Because what a lot of people do is they'll do the ha-ha, which sounds really unnatural. So you've nailed that, however you came across it.
Oh, thank you. Totally unselfconscious.
Well, it sounds that way. And I think that's why it sounds so good.
Thanks.
So what kind of music did you listen to growing up?
In the house was Peter, Paul, and Mary, Bill Cosby, not music, but
He did have a music album.
Herb Alpert and the Tijuana Brass.
Loved him.
We had a hi-fi, 60s and 70s stuff. Now, I had my own Magnavox record player, and I wore out Court and Spark. In fact, when I bought the CD for it, I had a really hard time listening to it because it didn't have all the pops and skips
It
that my
didn't sound
record
the same.
did. When you had to put the penny on the needle to keep it down. Yeah. So I listened to a lot of Carole King, Joan Baez, Joni Mitchell, James Taylor, Harry Chapin.
Yeah, so I can hear how that informs the music that you sing today. That you kind of feeding back what it was that developed you as a singer as a kid.
Yeah, it was interesting when you asked me to put together a playlist of what influences me or what gets me going, and I thought, wow, well, I could do a whole 2-hour show with that,
Probably more.
And even with, especially the newer local songwriters that I've certainly been influenced by and gotten to know in the last 10 years.
Yeah, you're not the first person to say that's the hardest part about coming on the show is coming up with 30 minutes of recorded music to play
I have
because
to keep swapping things
Yeah.
out, you know. Well, and there was this new artist I wanted to put on there for you. I'll tell you about him later. And I was like, no, I got to have this other one in there instead. 3 minutes is 3 minutes.
well, can you play us some more of your music?
I can. You know, I think I'll do this one. A lot of the songs on the record are kind of heavy because the last several years have been kind of heavy.
Yeah, funny how that happens.
Yeah.
Funny how that
I think you're
happens.
not alone in that.
And it's funny, by the time it came out, all my songwriter circles were there, were like, we knew these songs. So this is my song of hope. It's not recorded anywhere. Well, there might be a video of it on the web. I don't know. I call it Many Hands, Many Hearts. And I wrote it in about the second full week of November in 2020. So I'll leave it there. When we can ease the pain, resurrecting hope again, and cherish all our lives, let our colors harmonize. Broken spirits then will mend, reconnecting fractured friends, building bridges out of walls, healing what divides us all. Many hands, many hearts, reconciliation starts. Many hearts, many hands, join to reunite the land. As we work row by row, with seeds of change to sow, weed out the roots of hate, growing love, it's not too late. No more hopelessness, despair, we'll build a world for all to care. Let the light of truth reveal, we're more alike than we may feel. Many hands, many hearts, reconciliation starts. Many hearts, many hands, join to reunite the land. One day when we exhale and kindness has prevailed, we'll have more peaceful days when our tempers aren't ablaze. When we learn we all are one, then the magic has begun. And our children's legacy may bring forth more equity. Our choices, like the wind, can hold us back or set us free. Let's rise above the petty din and light a fire of unity. Many hands, many hearts, reconciliation starts. Many hearts, many hands, join to reunite our land.
Hey.
We're still working on that.
Well, we have had a couple of hopeful Novembers in the
Yes.
past 3 years.
Yes.
Kirby, speaking of still working on that, you'd shared with us that your the stimuli for your songs come from sometimes prompts or a lot of personal reflection. But once you get it going, tell us about how you know when a song's done, or if you're saying, well, this song's not done, what process you go through to bring it home.
Oh, Kirk, is a song ever finished?
Hope so.
We could spend the next hour talking about this.
I think, well, I go to a lot of songwriter circles, and so I take the feedback that I get there pretty much, I don't know, to heart. If there is feedback, there isn't always. And I'm never sure if that's a good thing or not, but I just go with the flow. I guess I work on it till I'm happy with it. There's a couple I had mentioned earlier. There are a couple of songs I'm really struggling with to think that they're finished. And one of them, I had this chord progression, and I was like, I don't know if the tune is really a tune, but it keeps running in my head when I'm not here. So maybe that means it's okay.
There's something to that, I think.
And but this yesterday, my good friend Jack Gorham had made a Facebook post. He's a self-confessed junk man, of course, and a songwriter. And he made a Facebook post that had to do with his junkman business, but he started out calling it soulless garbage.
Oh, I saw that. Yes.
And it had to do with Christmas giving, and and I was like, dude, song prompt. And so yesterday morning, I don't know, something tripped my trigger. I sat down and I wrote. It was a poem at that point in about 20 minutes. I mean, it just spilled out. I mean, rhymes and all, couplets. And I'd read it to my partner. She gets tired of that every now and then. But and then I got a text message from Jack. He goes, I have a potential chorus. And his was about his soulless garbage. And mine was, my chorus, I'll give you an inside hint on it. It says, soulless garbage I heard you say as you shook your head and drove away. The sign I hold says I'm hungry and cold. Look in my eyes. I have a soul.
Oh.
So they were completely different takes on the same phrase. So, so I spent a lot of today, refining the poem into a song and trying to play some chords with it. And then I said, you have to stop this and practice for tonight.
Or we could just hear soulless garbage song.
It's not ready yet. But so I there's times I get happy with it, and then there's times that I go running to Leah or a song circle and say, this isn't there yet, is it? And, I'm getting more comfortable with trusting myself.
Well, we're enjoying this time with you tremendously, and we've
Thank
got
you.
a nice amount of time left, probably
Cool.
for at least 2 more songs.
Couple more? Okay. Well, what should I do?
You know what? Are you taking requests? And I'm not going to be upset if you
Sure.
didn't. Your CD.
We often take them if they're written on a $20 bill. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Okay.
No,
I'll
Kim,
check.
I'll take
Well,
it.
your CD, Mama's Biscuits. There, you wrote a song. I think it was about your dad. That is, and if you weren't
No,
prepared
I don't
to
mind
play
singing
it,
that at all. I get asked to
whenever
sing
I get a chance to play that song, I do in a hot minute, just because it's such a beautiful song. It doesn't remind me particularly of my own relationship, but anyone that I were to lose, like for some reason that song always hits me the right way.
Well, thank you so much.
You're
I'd be happy to
welcome.
do it.
Okay.
He was born 100 years ago this past October.
Oh
so
my!
he
Well,
barely
happy
lived to see
birthday.
51, sadly, but I'm fairly still in tune. It's kind of been on the edge tonight. My apologies for those with a keen ear.
Okay, FJ, turn it down.
This is called Meet Me at the Gate. Will you meet me at the gate when I arrive? I'm sure I'll recognize your smiling eyes. I guess you've seen me all along and have struggled to write a song that says I miss you and wish that you were still alive. So is there a heaven, and what's it like? Do you think they'll let me in? Is honesty still a virtue? 'Cause I haven't kept track of my sins. There are no reservations for a heavenly destination, and my rusty halo needs some polishing. You bought the boat before you learned how to sail. That was your style, and of course you did prevail. Became the skipper of the fleet. Missing church was kinda neat. I was your first mate every Sunday without fail. But I'd sure like to see your mustache smile. Share jokes I didn't get as a child. Will you tell me once out loud that I sure have made you proud? More than 40 years gone by to reconcile. You danced at the wedding I never had. Gave me away in my mind like any dad. I'm older now than you were then. What will it be like seeing you again? Will our reunion be happy or sad? Are you in the angel choir, still singing bass? You serve the city and the scouts and men in space. I was only 17, but to me you were just like a king. Taught by example your humility and grace. So is there a heaven, and what's it like? Do you think they'll let me in? Is honesty still a virtue? 'Cause I haven't kept track of my sins. There are no reservations for heavenly destination. And my rusty halo needs some polishing. My rusty halo may need a bit of polishing.
Thank you, Kirby.
Thanks, Kim.
I think that's my favorite right now, Kirby Heard song.
Aw,
That was a
thanks.
good
That one
request right there.
lives deep inside.
You asked about songwriting processes, and I tried for a long time to write a song about him, and I must have 5 different attempted versions that are all a different,
Yep.
you know, met you at a cocktail party, we just departed too soon, that kind of approach, you know, just real metaphorical, and I just looked, nah, just do it.
Well, I think that what prompts, that's a great question that you asked, Bob. What prompts do, honestly, is they're labor savers, and they help me to shake off everything I carry, because they make you write about something that you may not be carrying at that time, and they help you to, like, you got a prompt that you interpreted very differently, probably, than the person who gave it to you. And that's what they do. It's like giving you glasses that don't quite fit, and they make you focus differently.
Right.
And that's what prompts do. They save a writer labor from all that they carry, and we carry a
Yeah.
lot.
I need anything to get me out of my own head is
Yeah.
usually a good place to
Because
be.
it's way too busy in there.
See, that's,
Way too much going on.
I build physical things. So I have 3 dozen projects going on at one time. I'm building the bookcase here and the birdhouse there and the guitars over here and all kinds of things. And it would drive me crazy for someone to walk up and say, well, why don't you build a table?
But every once in a while they do, don't they?
Yeah, but I'm getting from songwriting, it's very different, because as soon as they say, why don't you build a table, it kind of puts
Oh, well, should
focus
that
on a
table be
table.
round?
Yeah.
Or should it have corners? And did it hurt someone? What did it smell like? Was it smooth or rough?
Right. You're fleshing it out all of a
It's
sudden.
all that tactile stuff. That's what the blind writing in the morning is supposed to accomplish. I'm never that successful with it.
Yeah.
I
Thank you
beg
for
to
making
differ.
me feel successful this very moment.
It sounds to me like it's working for you.
Thanks. I'm learning to let go a little bit.
Good.
That's
Yeah.
good stuff.
Yeah. So,
Yes, more.
one more.
It's your show. You can do 5 more if you want to.
All right. Well, I usually close with something I didn't write, but I'll do something else. I got asked to do
Well,
this, so I better do
we
it.
welcome, if you want to do a cover of something, we welcome that. If
Well,
that's
that's
what.
what I'm going to do at the
Okay.
end. So let me do this one. I was asked to do this. So this is a chord progression that a friend of mine was noodling around with at a picking circle I go to. And I was like, man, Jerry, that's a very cool chord progression, and I have this song I don't know what to do with. And he said, take it.
All right.
So I did. And this is on Mama's Biscuits. My son was going off to the National Guard, and he and I had this huge falling out, and I was really PO'd at him, and this song came out. He's a love now, and he's full-time Army, and he was the reason I was late the last time I was here. But I still love him. All right, with you there. It makes me sad to see you cry, your quivering lips, your red eyes. Wish I was there in the same town to take away what makes you frown. But you're too far, and I'm alone. Can't hold you closer than my phone, nor wish the miles away. Instead, I hold you close in dreams ahead. Close your eyes, I'm with you there. You must know how much I care. Kiss your brow, stroke your cheek. I'll hold you close while you're asleep. See him break your heart, he has no clue how far apart he's driven you. Though close you were, but not so now, that seems a blur. Longing to restore your smile, I'll hold you in my mind a while. Your light I wish to reignite and see your beacon in the night. Close your eyes, I'm with you there. You must know how much I care. Kiss your brow, stroke your cheek. I'll hold you close while you're asleep. I'm in your dreams while you're asleep. You know, when you need to cry on somebody's shoulder and they're out of town. That's what that was about.
Kirby Heard, live here on Pass the Hat. We're winding up an hour of Live with Kirby Heard.
Thanks so much for having me tonight, guys.
I could have done a couple more hours, but okay. All right, fine.
We have to do this again soon.
We should.
But we get the sincere pleasure over the next 30 minutes here, starting in just a minute, of hearing the music that Kirby has brought in to us, her playlist of what she's listening to, what she thinks you should be listening to, what's inspiring her, whatever she feels like putting on her playlist. So stick around and you can get inside Kirby's head through her playlist.
There's a scary place to be.
But y'all watching the live stream, wave goodbye. And y'all watching the live stream, you don't have to stop listening. You can go out to WHUPFM.org. You can find us on the TuneIn app, all kinds of places out there. You can keep listening, but the live stream ends. I was going to say now, but, you know, it's really not working for me.
Yeah.
Well, so to do the live stream,
Okay,
because y'all
now.
can't see it, Bob is using a computer from approximately 1990.